Hey, everybody, this is Chad Warren. Welcome to Rebel Renaissance Radio. We are going to focus on the topic of the Ephod sacred vestments that the Levite Hebrew high priests wore. This is just strictly an introduction. Um, so let's see, pull that off. And that. Okay. Probably like that. And the podcast we're going to listen to is Meta Mindcast with Robbie Marks. All right. This is the series on Solomon's Temple. So, okay, and then let's see. Okay. So this is episode 56, Solomon's Temple Part 1. And then you're also going to hear Nick from the Occult Rejects and Theresa from the Spiritual Gangsters. I think they're in this excerpt. They're certainly in this episode, which is really awesome. So we're going to play just the part that is describing this ephod, garments, and breastplate.
Money at this
Mhm.
point, you know?
Interesting.
Um, yeah. And this is also when we have the breastplate of judgment, which was a type of ephod, which was used for divination purposes. And so now, are you familiar with this breastplate?
Not
Very
really.
little. And I know
No,
you're talking.
so within the tabernacle and later on, even in Solomon's temple, they would wear this breastplate of judgment. Yeah, the breastplate of judgment. And essentially, what it was it had two stones on the shoulder, right, that were made of onyx, like shoulder pads. And in each one of those stones was engraved six of each of the tribes of Israel, right? Because there was the 12 tribes of Israel,
Hmm.
which essentially I get into quite a bit in my Nimrod book, in regard to the foundation of the 12 tribes, coming from what is it, Jacob and Esau at that point. And so you have these onyx stones, and when you get into researching onyx itself, as far as within magical processes, right? It has to do with the cypress, hellebore, the yew tree, nightshade, the oak, and the ivy. It's directly related with Set, or the crocodile of Egypt. It has to do with making pentacles, and is related to the sickle, avarice, and envy. And on the Empress scale of color, it is black with a flashing yellow. So essentially, I think what these were the two pillars of foundation, or the two side trees, side pillars on the tree of life,
Mm.
essentially, Yakin and Boaz. And I think that the reason it's black onyx is because it has to do with crystallizing in the fundamental aspects of what reality is. You know what I mean? And so then from there would be gold chains that would come down, and there was a breastplate that they would wear that had three squares across and four squares going down, right? And so that's, you got a total of it's a type of a magic square. And you have, it's 3 by 4, so you have 12 total, which relates to the 12 tribes of Israel, right? And each one of these, I'm going to go from left to right, top to bottom. But you had emerald, which was for the tribe of Levi, which were the priest class. You had topaz, which were for Simeon. Sardis, which was for the tribe of Reuben. Jasper, Zebulon. Sapphire was for the tribe of Issachar. Carbuncle was for the tribe of Judah. Amethyst was for the tribe of Gad. Agate was for the tribe of Naphtali. Ligure was for the tribe of Dan. Beryl was for the tribe of Benjamin. Onyx was for the tribe of Joseph. And chrysolite was for the tribe of Asher. And so essentially, this breastplate was used as what they called an ephod. And I don't know if you saw the show I just did on oracular talking heads, by chance. No. So basically, with these early talking heads, these early teraphim, or these household gods, they would have one part that was earthly matter combined with metal. And that could be anything from a piece of wood to a head, like a physical head. And then on top of that, they would have what they called the ephod, which would either be a priestly garment robe, or sometimes it would be an arrow that would be wrapped in gold. And sometimes they would have a bunch of arrows in a case and shake them. But this whole idea of this ephod was for the purposes of divination, right? So this breastplate was for the purpose of speaking with the Elohim in the heavens.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Or the idea of like crystal, like using crystals to communicate and,
right,
draw energy from and stuff. It's interesting.
Right. And what each one of those energetic vibrations of those crystals and how they work. When you start getting into crystals, some of them charge negatively, some of them charge positively, some of them charge both negatively and positively. They, and then within the different structures of the crystals themselves, you also have different geometric structures, from cubic to pyramidal to octahedron to the 7 essential platonic forms of matter that Plato talks about, would be all the different base crystalline forms. So now the origin of this breastplate is probably the most interesting part. When you get into the old rabbi tales of Lucifer walking in the heavens with the Elohim.
Oh, yeah, and it's full of jewels, right?
Yeah, and Lucifer, he wore that breastplate in the heavens when he walked with God in Eden, right? And when Lucifer's fallen, the Hebrews almost take this breastplate and invert it. So because it's fallen from the heavenly realm, it's in the earthly realm. If you want to talk to the heavenly realm, it's inverted for the purpose of communication.
Oh.
So, and this was, something that was used all through the tabernacle into the Temple of Solomon. And then when they went into the Babylonian exile, it disappeared. But when Zerubbabel rebuilt the second temple, there was a second breastplate that was reconstructed and used in the second temple. I didn't see anything in the third temple about it. So, but the third temple is yet to come. So we've only had, they're working to rebuild the temple now. So,
maybe they'll have the glove of Thanos.
Yeah, that's a whole interesting thing.
Yeah, which has got stones on it too, right?
That's it. That's what I said.
Well,
The hand of God.
Yeah, and that goes back to some. It's like a French artifact of some high religious woman figure, if I remember right.
Oh,
So
shit.
that glove of Thanos is actually based on a real artifact. So
Oh, that's cool.
I had Nix on recently, and it was like, I guess, like paganism and Catholicism, and she was like showing like I guess like a hand gesture, but then it also like matched like Sabazius's hand of God or something like that.
the sacred
And
hand
it
of the
has like it has like the fucking pine
the
cone
pine
on
cone
the
and
thumb.
all the different symbols.
Yeah.
No way.
And I was like, yo, there's the fucking microphone from Twin Peaks season 3 with the fucking pine cone.
Yeah.
But it was just like
Mhm.
really weird, and like there's a guy associated with the OTO named Sabazius.
Yep.
So it's like, but that hand thing was really interesting.
Oh yeah, and that goes. That's an ancient hand symbol, and you see even in a lot of representations of Jesus, he'll be throwing up the sacred hand of the mysteries. You know, that's a whole show in itself, man.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.